Welcome back to Toonheads, the wartime cartoons. During the war, every young man had to take a physical as part of his induction into the armed forces.
Holy cats, I've been drafted!
1A meant you were in perfect physical condition and ready for combat training, while 4F meant you were unsuitable for military service. Now back to Toonheads, the wartime cartoons. Films were the quickest and easiest way to bring America to the front lines. And Hollywood animation went to war with our fighting forces overseas.
Give me that pea shooter.
Warner Brothers provided the Army with a series of humorous instructional films featuring Private Snafu, a typical soldier who frequently made the wrong decision. Many of the early Snafu cartoons were written by Theodore Geisel, also known as Dr. Seuss. These cartoons were very popular with the soldiers. Over the course of 2.5 years, 26 Snafu cartoons were created for our boys in green. Many classic gags used in Warner Brothers cartoons were originally written for Private Snafu. During the First World War, several fables were told about little men who sabotaged aircraft. But it wasn't until the Second World War that children's author Roald Dahl coined the term gremlins in his fairy tale book.
Gremlins. Oh, murder.
Walt Disney planned to create an animated movie about gremlins.
Yeah? Yeah.
But the project never got off the ground. Bob Clampett was so fond of this fable that he created 2 cartoon shorts about the little saboteurs. The first had Bugs Bunny battle a zany gremlin aboard a runaway plane. It was originally entitled Bugs Bunny and the Gremlin, but it was released as Falling Hair. For his next gremlin film, Clampett decided it would be funnier to have a plane full of gremlins.
We're gremlins from the gremlins.
To make the cartoon even more appealing, he would have them attack someone the audience really wanted destroyed. In this case, Adolf Hitler. In Russian Rhapsody, many of the gremlins are actually caricatures of Clampett's co-workers at Warner Brothers.
Send their heavy bombers down to earth in teeny bits. Napoleon and his armies in their purer state. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. We're in the Nazi's hair. We are Russian gremlins. Up
In fact, look closely and you'll see Clampett created a caricature of himself, originally entitled Gremlins from the Kremlin. Here's Bob Clampett's wartime masterpiece, Russian Rhapsody. Toonheads, the wartime cartoons, will be back in a moment. But now for our final trivia question. Who approved the storyboards for the Snafu cartoons?
Okay, get ready for the devastating news.
The answer when we return in a moment to Toonheads, the wartime cartoons. You're watching Toonheads, the wartime cartoons. Here's the answer to our last trivia question. Security and secrecy were so strict during the production of the Snafu cartoons that the United States Pentagon insisted on approving all cartoon ideas and storyboards. Now back to Toonheads, the wartime cartoons. World War II ended on August 14, 1945, with the surrender of the Japanese. Our cartoon stars went back to work on American soil. Bugs returned to outwit Elmer. Daffy took on new villains. And Popeye resumed his battles with Bluto. Because of their dated propaganda and outrageous stereotypes, many of these cartoons are no longer shown on television. But the impact they had on the American public cannot be minimized. With skill, humor, and optimism, these wartime cartoons helped Americans through our darkest hours. They served our country well and deserve a Medal of Honor. From Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Popeye, to Bob Clampett, Tex Avery, Chuck Jones, and all the rest, we salute you. Great cartoons right here on Cartoon Network.